Alrighty. We'll swap this over just a little bit towards myself. Alright. Alright, camera A. Camera A. Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. Alright, I feel like I can turn this music up a little bit. Ooh, here we go. Alright, we gotta get our first one here. So we're gonna start with the soft stuff first, I think, guys. So we're gonna get the soft stuff out of the way. So camera B. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go. Right down the bottom. Somebody said name a car for an edit. A Honda CR-V, dude. Air bubbles pop, tilt that forward. And again, we're slowly bringing that hand down, right? Then you're gonna grab your hammer fist. Hammer fist is right on top. Slowly pushing this down, right? And we're gonna swap over to camera C. All right, pottery shelf. Pottery shelf. There we go. Hammer fist coming down on top and slowly bringing that out. Right there, I'm gonna grab my little llama here. Llama's dancing. He's Raven Llama. All right. Camera B. Llama bites down right on this rim here. And the llama, you know what llamas love, guys? Llamas love volcanoes. Let's get some volcanoes in the chat, dude. I learned that there's a volcano emoji, which is pretty epic, right? All right. Slowly locking in. And here's the treetop, guys. Kiss that rim just a little bit. There we go. Bring that in, 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 bring that in. Pushing this in. Getting a little bit dry, add some more water. Tilt that forward a little bit. Alright, right down on the bottom edge here. Okay, ready? Bring this up. So we're transitioning that hand. And remember those two lanes of traffic, that push and that pull. You're not pushing towards center, you're pushing past it, right? And that's how it's going to get right on center there. You're going to take your fist, you're going to go right on that top edge there. And you bring this down. Make a big bowl that has a wide diameter. No, right now I'm just doing my trees. I wouldn't buy a kiln. I'd actually go on there's a website online. It's like Share Your Kiln or Share Kilns or something like that. Or maybe it's even a Facebook thing. But I would just make the pots and then bring them somewhere to fire them. And I would say really make a lot of pots before you make the investment on something like that. Kilns are more expensive than the wheel themselves. And I wouldn't get a small kiln. It's going to heat up way too fast and it's going to crash half your glazes, especially your crystalline glazes that need that cooling event in that firing cycle to really create and seed those crystals. You're not going to get nothing on some glazes. So I would say really you want to get a you want to fire your work in a kiln that's larger and has what is it called? And it's densely loaded, you know. And I don't pay for any of my glazes that I use, but I don't really glaze any of my trees because I work at a couple different art centers, right? Again, this whole entire thing is all about finding this bump and slowly walking this up. I'm getting to the top where it's getting a little bit thin. Nice. It's a battle versus you and material, right? And I think you can ask any potter and they'll tell you, is it satisfying? And they'll tell you, I think, well, maybe some find it satisfying, but for me, it's a total battle versus a material here. Okay, before I do this, I'm gonna do a manual twist down. Is it fun? No. Like, so you guys know, like, the thing that I want to do more than anything in the world is I just want to sit in my room and play video games. This is all just because that's not really an efficient way to live my life, is to sit and play video games all day. So instead I replace that with just making pottery. So these start acting like appendages, right? So I really like the way that the tendrils, they start getting away from pattern and functioning more as, you know, like arms almost. All right, camera C. Nice to have us as company when you're making pottery. Well, you know, I thought about it, like what's the purpose of this this channel? First is a, you know, sometimes when you make a promise, right, and you keep it to yourself, right, if it fails, nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter, right? And so me, when I'm throwing these things every single day, it's more for myself to push this to the public and to totally throw myself out there. And so I have an obligation to myself to do the thing, right? There's that public pressure that you're applying onto self, right? And that's really kind of what it's about for me more. And then I was like, okay, well, you know, there's probably a lot of people who are, I'm a Gen Zer, right? So there's probably a lot of people in Gen Z generation, right, who are struggling with where they find meaning in their life, right? And, you know, somebody once told me, it's like, you know, just find something and just keep attacking it relentlessly, right? And, you know, maybe it'll work out, you know. And so if it does work out for me, well, you know, I'd like to have all of it recorded, and then maybe other people who are struggling, they can also, you know, view this and then find something. Maybe it's not pottery, but maybe it's something else, you know. So is it nice to have you? Yeah, I think it's nice to have you guys here. I'm totally grateful. Like I said, the most important thing you can donate is your time. So you guys watching is, I mean, that's really meaningful to me. It's nice because when I watch stuff like this, it helps me make stuff I like. Exactly, right? Like, I hope that, like, you see this, and you know, the goal actually is that you turn off the stream right now, and then you go find something in your life that you just want to do, that you've been procrastinating on, that thing, that little demon. That's where the pottery demon comes in, right? There's a little demon, right? When you wake up in the morning, it whispers to you, and it makes fun of you, right? It says, go back to sleep, you know, go do this, go do that, right? And you know, we always listen to this demon all the time, and so there's a battle that you have to, like, look through every single day as if there's something's like burning behind you, right? And you got to just keep on running, right? Yeah, I'm not wise. I just I think I'm always thinking about stuff, that's all. People who think a lot about things sound wise because that's the things that they think about all the time, right? I'm sure if I talk to you, oh, this song's kind of a vibe. Right? I'm sure if I talk to you, there are some things that you'd sound really wise doing. But you've only made 17 so far, and you keep them for yourself. They're a part of you. No, I totally get it. because when I wake up and I see my trees in the morning, you know, blocking my path to get to, you know, the kitchen area in my apartment, you know, I get filled with this idea that I can do it, right? I'm surrounded by the hours I've devoted to the thing, right? And so part of me, I like to keep them around because they're little reminders that I'm doing it, right? They're little reminders. Every day I'm just attacking the thing. Before I even started making the trees, it's like last year of July 14th, I was kind of doing some things that were leading me to the trees, and then all of a sudden, I think on like July 21st, I had like a revelation with the trees. And then somewhere in that time frame, I told myself, I was like, well, what if I make trees every day for a whole year? And then the fun part is just doing it, right? I'll hear these whispers from the demon in the brain, right? And it says like, you know, Bruce Lee, you know what Bruce Lee said one time? He said, I'm not scared of the man who can, you know, punch 10,000 different ways. I'm scared of the man who can punch one way 10,000 times. And I'm like, oh, dude, what if I make a project called Scaring Bruce Lee and I make 10,000 of these things? I think it'd be really lit. All right, camera B. Camera B. Somebody recently recommended me John Butler Trio, if you guys know them. So that was kind of interesting. I was at the museum that I work at, and I saw somebody like kind of in this courtyard area with some art, and they were like listening to music. And I saw them later, and I asked them, hey, what music were you listening to? And she said that she was listening to John Butler Trio, so I think I gotta search them up. I have like a live performance thing saved on my likes of them performing at the Sydney Orchestra house, whatever the thing is called. First off, I'm going to look at this one. This is the one I just finished. I really like the way that the tendrils were flowing on this one. They felt really organic. The clay was a little bit stiffer, so it didn't do a lot of mushing of the tendrils. The pattern's nice. The twist in that middle is really nice. There's a lot of distance there for it to really speak and talk to the viewer, right? And then there's that little bump, right? There's that little shadow right around that edge, and then that little bump out on the top. Something about that's really drawing my eye, right? And it's almost like separating that top and allowing us to really focus on that interior middle part there. Anyway, we've got this one. We did a double tendril on this one. It's a really tight twist, so you can see it's a lot shorter and it's a lot more compressed, right? Really starting to look like a trunk of a tree, right? The top is a little bit more bulbous, kind of rounded, almost like an orb, and the tendrils are functioning a lot like arms in this one. You know, one's over top, one's like right on the edge here. So I quite like that one. And the one on the top, you know, this one's a little bit more basic. The twist is elevated up more towards that top. The top is a little bit wider than the rounded one, but it's flatter. It's almost like a little saucer, right? And the petals on that one, that bottom skirt, they kind of collapsed and they water fissured right around that skirt, so I'm gonna have to pull that off. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality. But do you know Naruto, the show? There's a scene where, you know, Rock Lee is sitting there, right? And he's talking to Guy Sensei, and he's always saying, Guy, like, I try all the time, but no matter how hard I try, I never seem to beat Neji. Sometimes I wonder if it's even worth it. And Guy looks at him totally deadpan in the eye and says, you're right, Lee, it isn't worth it if you don't believe in yourself, right? And so I used to really be hyper critical and like a demeaning way towards myself about my work. And then, you know, I told myself, no, I gotta have like a totally ferocious confidence, right? And it all starts with how you gotta really build that, right? It doesn't just happen.